Hello guys, good day everyone. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the Creators Lodge and I welcome you all to today's tutorial. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how I designed this beautiful business flyer in Pixellab application, alright? And I must say that this design is for beginners and also for professionals, alright? You don't need to be so good in graphic design before you can create a beautiful flyer such as this. All right, I've made this tutorial so simple and easy such that a beginner, even if you are a beginner, all right, in smartphone design or in graphic design, you are going to be able to create this flyer design. All right, I've made it so easy and so simple for you to create, but yet in a professional way. All right, so I would urge you to please sit back and watch this tutorial till the end. All right, and also before we go into the tutorial, I would like to say that if this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, please do well to like this video, do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also turn on the notification button so that when next I drop amazing videos, YouTube will notify you instantly. And also, if you want to appreciate the values I've been dishing out and what I've been doing, you want to show appreciation, all right, below this video in the video description you are going to see a seller.co link where you can do so, so please feel free to do so. All right, let's get into the tutorial. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to open my Pixellab application, and this is how my Pixellab looks like. And the next thing, I'm going to color my background, okay? But first, before I do that, I'm going to change my image size. All right, now the image size I used for this design, I used the width is 3000 and the height is 3500. All right, now somebody would want to ask a question that, is this the default size for all my designs? Should I just be doing my designs, you know, using this size? Well, this is not a default size for all designs. All right, I just love using this size to do my designs. All right, now you can do your design in square shape. You can make use of square shape. All right, that's if you want to post it on social media and those such as Instagram, WhatsApp, you know, wherever you want to post it. All right, you can just click on your image size. Once you click on image size, you are going to see square. All right, you can just click on square. It's going to make it a perfect square. All right, now if you want to do the design and you want to print it out in an A4 size, then you need to know the size for A4. Most of these sizes are online. You can just go online and search in the Google search what is the A4 size in pixels. All right, make sure you put in pixels because the measurement in Pixellab, they are usually in pixels. All right, if you are using your laptop, your system, probably you are using the CorelDRAW application, now you are going to be looking at inch. All right, CorelDRAW measures in inch, while the Pixellab or the Photoshop usually is in pixels. Okay, so I'm going to size my work 3000 by 3500, and the next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in my original design as I usually do. Yeah. All right guys, so this is my original design. I'm just going to increase the size. I'm going to just mark it this way. Now what I want to do now, remember that our background, this is the way our background is. So I want to color our background, and I'm going to be picking my colors from this design. Okay, now the color I used on this design is a gradient color, so I'm just going to be picking the color right now. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my color, go to my background panel, click on color. I'm going to change the color to gradient, and I'm going to pick this addition sign. Now I'm going to change the gradient style. All right, the gradient style I used is the third style. Now at the top of your screen, you're going to see the first style, the second style, the third style. So this is the style I used. I'm going to click this first color panel, click this first one, click on the bucket tool. I'm going to pick the color. I'm just going to click on this eyedrop tool here, and I'm going to click on the flyer. Okay, and I'm just going to pick the first color. Now remember, the gradient style we used is it's a slope style, all right, or should I say it's a slant style. So I'm going to pick the color from here first, and I'm going to mark this and click OK. Now the next thing I want to do is to click on this second panel and click on the bucket tool, click on the eyedrop tool. I'm going to click on the flyer, and I'm going to click here for the second to pick the second color. All right, so I'm just going to click here, mark this, and click OK. Now this is what we call a gradient. So I'm just going to click OK, and we have our color. All right, so let me make this layer invisible. Now you can see I've colored the background the exact color we used for our original design. This is it. So the next thing I want to do is, in our original design, you are going to see at the background, you are going to see a pattern. All right, a pattern. Now if you have watched the last tutorial I posted, and if you practice that design, you are going to see that I made use of that. The same pattern I used for the previous design tutorial I did is the same pattern I used for this design. So I'm just going to be imputing the pattern right now. All right, I'm going to drop the resource file for this tutorial, all the resource materials you need for this tutorial. Just check the video description beneath this video. You're going to see a link to download in the Google Drive. Okay, let me bring in the pattern. All right, so this is the pattern I used in this design. I'm just going to mark this way, and I'm going to click on this shape, and I'm going to increase this size to the fullest. Yes, something like this. So I'm going to increase it to the fullest, that's the width to the highest, the height to the highest. I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to click on my relative position, and I'm going to centralize this. Click on this and centralize, and I'm just going to mark this. I'm going to lock this layer also. Now what I want to do, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my opacity, and I'm going to reduce my opacity this way. Yep, yeah, I'm going to reduce my opacity to 8%. Okay, you can reduce it to 5, you can reduce it to 8. I just want it to be, a little bit blended to the background. Now the next thing I want to do, I'm just going to move our original image upwards, and the next thing I want to do is, there's a ribbon, the curtain, sorry, there's a curtain at the top left hand side of my design. So I'm just going to bring that in. Yep, so I'm going to go to my gallery. All right, so this is the cotton I used, all the silk. You can call it a silk, or you can call it cotton. So I'm just going to mark this way. Now I'm going to make my original visible. I'm trying to get the angle of rotation, so I'm just going to rotate this way and fix it. I'm just going to fix it. I'm going to rotate again. Yep, yeah, I'm just going to rotate this way. Yes, and I'm going to fix it this way. So the angle of my rotation is, I'm going to show you guys the angle of my rotation right now, minus 54. So if you want to do yours, the angle should be minus 54. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this. I'm going to lock this layer also. Now the next thing I want to do, if you look at our original design, you're going to see that the silk is having the similar color to the background. All right, so the next thing I want to do is, I'm just going to go to my color filter. I'm going to click on my hue, and I'm going to move until I get that color fill as my background. Yes, I think something like this. Yep, so let's look at our original. So we have this. I'm just going to move it. Yes, so this is the hue 93. Okay, so you can make your hue 93%. Yep, so I'm just going to leave mine this way. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is, I'm going to click on my shapes. I'm going to extend my shapes this way. I'm going to reduce this way. All right, I'm just going to bring it this way. Now if you have been following this design so far, you're going to see that I'm not doing anything serious on this design. Okay, I'm just trying to keep it simple but yet professional. So that is why I said in the beginning of this tutorial that even if you are a beginner, you don't really know the complex part of graphic design. Okay, it's going to be so easy for you to understand this tutorial, because I'm not using complex things. I'm just using simple things for this design, because I want even the beginners to understand, and the professionals also. Okay, so I'm just going to create a shape. I'm going to mark this. Let me look at our original. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it this way. Yes, I'm going to lock this layer. Now if you look at our original design, you're going to see something like a white dot, at the dot, stuff like that. So that's what I want to do now. I'm going to make this layer invisible. I'm going to click on text, add text, and I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to click on, now I'm going to click on this hyphen, this sign, this symbol. All right, so I'm just going to click as much as possible. Yeah, just click as much as possible. Yeah, so I'm going to click OK. Now you can see it's too much, so what you just do is you just draw from this place. All right, so once I draw from this place, now it's on a straight line, so I'm just going to bring it down here this way. Okay, so it's looking like this cut sign. Okay, like there's a cut sign there, so that's the idea behind this. Okay, you can decide to put it and you can decide to just leave it, but for the sake of this tutorial I'll be using it. Okay, so that's the second thing I want to do. Now the next thing I want to achieve is now if you look at the background, you're going to see some some drawings. Okay, now I'm going to be achieving that. Now I'm going to show you how I did that. All right, so now what I want to do is click on your shape. You're going to see sticker, import, draw shape. Now there's a draw tool there. All right, I'm going to click on my draw tool. Click on your draw tool and increase your smoothness. Always increase your smoothness to the highest, to the yes, to 100%. And sometimes your pen size, you can increase it to maybe 40, 45, 50. Okay, let's see 50 and see. Then I'm going to pick color white. Okay, now this draw tool helps you to just freestyle, create shapes, create patterns. All right, just do a freestyle. Okay, now I can do something like this with my draw tool. Can you see it? You just need to use your hand effectively. I'll just do something like this. Now this is the exact thing I did. So I'm going to mark this, and after marking this I'm going to bring it this way. Now you can see. Now I'm going to reduce this size a bit, just a bit. Okay, now it might not be exactly like the original, but you are going to get the idea behind it. All right, so let me rotate this a bit. Now this this shape, it doesn't have a fixed a definite drawing. All right, remember you are the one drawing it with your hand, so you can do any style you want, but whatever style you want to draw, just make sure that it is efficient for your design. All right, just make sure you don't draw something off. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it down here towards this side, and I'm just going to leave it like this. All right, so after drawing your shape using the draw tool, I'm just going to make sure that it's beneath. All right, is beneath this rectangle we drew. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it this way. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the opacity. Okay, I'm going to reduce the opacity this way. Let's look at our original and see. Yeah, so I'm going to reduce the opacity this way to 33. So I'm just going to leave it this way. Now I want to draw the second shape. Okay, now the second shape, you don't even need to draw it. Okay, you don't need to draw it. I'm just going to copy this one we did, and I'm going to rotate this way. Okay, so let's look at our original and see how to place it. So this way. All right, so I'm just going to place it this way, like this. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it like this. So you can see we have the shape at the top, we have the shape beneath. So you can decide to draw different things. All right, once I click the draw tool, just ensure that your smoothness is in 100 and your pen is 45, 50. If you want to make it bold, if you want to make it smaller, you can reduce. All right, so you can draw anything and click your color. Draw anything you want with the draw tool. Okay, it just gives your design this amazing feel. All right, just gives your design this amazing feel. Okay, so we are done drawing this shape. Okay, we're going to go to the PicsArt application right now, and what I want to achieve is the blurred background. At the top of this design there is a blurred background there. Okay, so yeah, I can actually achieve the blurred background in Pixellab application, but the reason why I want to achieve it in PicsArt is because PicsArt will give you more accuracy. All right, so for the sake of those that PicsArt is not your device doesn't support the PicsArt application, let me show you how to create this blend background. All right, it's just that PicsArt is more efficient than Pixellab when it comes to blending of images and backgrounds. So first thing, click on this shape. After clicking on the shape, before you click the mark button, go to gradient. Once you click on gradient, click the add sign, click the first color palette, click the bucket tool, make sure that the color is on full white. Okay, and click OK. Then click the second color palette, click on the color and make sure that it's on transparent this way. All right, then click OK, and mark this. And once you are done, the next thing is to add texture. So I'm going to click on texture and I'm going to bring from my gallery. All right, so this is the design I blended in the background. Now once I click on texture, I'm going to click on 1:1 for this design, and I'm just going to click on the mark button. Now once I click on mark, now you can see that, yep, you can see, okay, sorry, yeah, so you can see once I click on the mark tool, you can see that the bottom part of this image is now blended to our background, but there are sharp edges on the left hand side. All right, so that is the reason why Pixellab is not really effective when it comes to blending backgrounds. I can use my eraser tool. All right, I can click on my eraser tool, increase the size and increase the flow of the brush. Then I'm going to click on that side that looks very sharp on the design. Okay, I'm going to click on that side, just that side that looks very sharp, and I'm going to mark it. Now you can see that even after erasing with my eraser tool, it's still not effective. It's still not effective. Now let's reduce the opacity a bit. All right, this way. Okay, let's reduce the opacity. Let's click on the eraser tool again, and let me just blur it this way, something like this. Okay, something like this. Oh, it's too much, so I'm going to go back. Okay, so we can decide to leave it this way, but it's not going to be very effective because we're using Pixellab. So that's the reason why when it comes to blending of images, I prefer using PicsArt, because PicsArt will do the work excellently well. So I'm just going to delete this now, and I'm going to go to PicsArt to blend our background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as image, and I'm going to save it into my gallery. All right, so once it's done saving, now don't forget, as you are designing, always save as project. Save your work as project. Okay, so I'm just going to save this as photo. Okay, so I'm going to save this as photo. So now it's saved in our Pixellab as project. So when I want to re-edit, I can come back to edit anything. Okay, so let's go to PicsArt right now. Alright guys, so this is the PicsArt application, and I've imported our background. Okay, so what I want to do now is to import the image that we blended in the background. So I'm going to click on add photo. Alright, so this is the image. Now what I want to do on this image is to make use of my eraser tool. So I'm going to click the eraser tool at the top. I'm going to reduce the hardness to about 50, and I'm going to increase the size a little bit. Okay, let me increase the hardness to about 56 and the size to about 70. Okay, so let me just zoom out, okay, so that I can erase it effectively. So I'm just going to softly, all right, don't erase too much, erase softly. The goal of you using the eraser tool is so that the image can become blended to the background. It's going to give us that blend feel, all right, just the same way it's giving us now. You can see the difference between these and Pixellab. Pixellab gave us a very sharp blending, all right, but coming to PicsArt, you can see that it's so smooth. You just need to know how to control your brush and always reduce your hardness and increase your size. Okay, now after doing this, I'm going to mark once, and once I mark, I'm going to increase this way, and I'm going to take it to this place like this. All right, so after bringing it here, what I want to do is I'm going to reduce my opacity this way. Awesome, 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 awesome. Now you can see this. All right, okay guys, now just a quick one. Anytime you want to create a design, always make sure that the images you are using, they speak about the design you are creating. Once you open this design and you immediately see this image of somebody holding a camera, trying to capture the image of another person, it will immediately communicate something to your mind. All right, there's already an impression you have about that design, so it's already telling a story. Pictures tell stories. Any picture you use on your design that is not telling a story that is related to your design, I would advise you not to use such pictures. All right, so now you can see from our background, you're already seeing that the picture is already telling the story. So design is all about storytelling. Design is all about storytelling. If your design is not telling a story, your design is not effective. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this way. Now I'm just going to download. Yeah, so after downloading, what we're going to do now is to go to our Pixellab and continue the design. Alright guys, so now we are in Pixellab. So what we want to do now is we're going to be bringing in the image we just edited in PicsArt. Okay, so this is the image. I'm just going to mark this, and I'm going to extend this way, and I'm just going to mark this. So I'm going to lock this layer. Now after bringing in the image, all the other things we did previously, such this shape we drew, just make it invisible. This rectangle, make it invisible. The hyphen sign symbol, make it invisible. All right, because they are not needed now. The only thing we need now is this background that we've worked on in PicsArt application. Okay, so that background should be at the top of all your other designs. All right, make these other ones invisible. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to be using our original design, and we're going to be looking at what next to do. So the next thing to do is we're going to be writing the wedding shoot. All right, so I'm just going to click on text, and I'm going to write the wedding shoot. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to go to my font. The font I used is Against Regular. Okay, Against Regular. I'm going to drop a link to download the font, Against Regular. So I'm just going to make this centralized. Now after clicking the font Against Regular wedding shoot, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add a stroke. I'm going to add stroke, but my stroke is just going to be 1. I'm going to click on stroke, and my stroke is just going to be 1%. All right, so I'm going to mark this. Now on our original design, the color we used is like a gradient color. Okay, let me just align this way so that it's going to align with our original design. Okay, yeah, yes, something like this. So the color we used looks like, something like yellow and white. It's a gradient color, and that's what I'm going to be adding now. All right, I've already created the gradient. I'm just going to click color, click on gradient, and I'm going to choose this color. Okay, but I'm going to show you guys the color now. I'm going to click on this add icon, click on the first palette. Now the color code is FFC10A, FFC10A for the yellow. Okay, now for the second one, the color code is EBEBEB. All right, so I'm just going to click OK and click OK and mark this. Now if you look at the design, you're going to see that the stroke is having a black, the color of the stroke is black. So I'm going to go back to my stroke, and I'm going to click on stroke, click on gradient, and click on the same color we clicked on while we were adding color to this wedding shoot text. All right, so this same gradient color, that's the same gradient color you use for your stroke. So I'm going to mark this. Okay, so after doing this, we've been able to achieve the wedding shoot. So the next thing we want to achieve is the remaining text. Okay, so I'm just going to move this down a little bit. So I'm just going to write another text, book us for. Yes, okay, let me see the text. Yes, okay. All right, so I'm just going to bring this text this way. I'm going to reduce the size. Let me look at our original so that we can place it effectively. Yes, so this is the text. So the font I used is, I'm going to make use of Montserrat Medium. All right, so I made use of Montserrat Medium. So I'm going to click OK. Make sure your text are always centralized. I'm going to centralize this. The wedding shoot, I'm going to centralize also. Yeah, so we've been able to achieve the text. The next thing we want to achieve is I'm going to be bringing in the frames and the pictures we used. Okay, so this is the photo frame. I'm just going to mark this. Now I'm going to reduce the photo frame from the side. Now I don't advise you reducing your images from the side this way. All right, we always reduce our images from here. If you want to reduce your image, it's meant to be from this big dot here. But the reason why I'm reducing it from the side is because this is a frame, and I want it to have this square shape. All right, that's the reason why I'm reducing it from the side. So I'm just going to reduce it a bit from the side, and I'm going to reduce it from here also. Now let me make the original visible so that I can work with it. Okay, I'm just going to reduce the size this way. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to reduce it this way. Yeah, so next thing I want to do, I want to draw my grid, because I want my work on the right and on the left hand side to be aligned. So I'm just going to make use of my grid right now. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to okay, let me make use of this. Okay, yeah, so I want to duplicate the the frame again. I'm going to duplicate it this way. I'm going to move it upwards, yeah, just a bit, yeah. So I'm going to duplicate again, and I'm going to move it this way, and I'm going to bring it down, yeah. Okay, so now you can see that my grid, the grid I just drew now is ensuring that I don't go, out of the box. I want it to be aligned, and that's the reason why I'm making use of my grid. So now you can see that the grid has performed, its tasks. Okay, now you can see that the picture frames, they are aligned. So I'm just going to move this a bit to this place. Yes, so let me check our original. Good, we are good to go. So I'm just going to make this layer invisible. Now the next thing I want to start doing, I want to move this wedding shoot a little bit. Yeah, let me just move it down a little bit, a little. Okay, so I want to bring in the images so that we can start filling the picture frame. So I'm just going to click on my gallery. All right, so this is the first image. I'm going to change the ratio to 1:1. I'm going to reduce it this way. Always, if you are working with a square, make sure you always change the ratio to 1:1. If the picture is too big, ensure you change the ratio to 1:1. All right, and also try to reduce as much as possible to just capture only the images. All right, so that the image will fill the, yeah. So I'm just going to leave it this way. All right, now if you noticed, I didn't create a rectangle shape and then start adding texture. You can actually decide to do that if you want to create a rectangle shape and click on texture and input your picture. All right, but I just prefer doing it this way. I just prefer bringing the picture direct. So I'm just going to place it here, and I want the picture to cover the white part of the frame. All right, I just want the picture to look as it's sitting on, just the I just want the black part of the frame to be visible. Yeah, something like this. So, and try to make sure that the picture is the center of the frame. Okay, so I've gotten one picture right, but this is not where the picture is meant to be. I'm just going to move this up like this. Yeah, okay, so the picture is meant to be on this side, so I'm going to move the picture here. I'm just going to move a little bit this way. Okay, so we have our first image here. Now I'm going to bring in the second image. Alright, so this is the second image. I'm going to change the ratio to 1:1. I'm going to reduce. I got these images from FreePic. Alright, FreePic is a site that allows you to download a lot of amazing images. Just type in the search word and FreePic will do the job. So I'm going to mark this and I'm going to reduce the size this way. Let me see the original. Alright, it's going to be at the middle. So I'm going to place it here. I'm just going to reduce this size like this. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. I'm going to increase a little bit. Okay, so we've gotten the second frame. I'm going to bring in the last image now. All right, and here's the last image. I'm just going to crop this. I'm going to make it this way, and yeah, and I'm just going to click the mark button. Okay, I'm just going to reduce it this way, and just make sure it fits in the frame, the center of the frame. The space on the right should be equal with the space on the left side, and also the top and the bottom part of the frame. Okay, I'm just going to move this up a little. All right, so we've been able to achieve, placing our images on our frame, picture frame. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, let me look at the original design. The next thing we want to do, we're going to be adding the pre-wedding shoot, engagement shoot. So I'm just going to create a new text. I'm going to make this invisible. Click on text. I'm just going to be writing the text. All right, so I made use of Montserrat font also. So I'm just going to click on Montserrat medium. I'm going to click OK. So I'm just going to reduce the size this way. I'm going to reduce the size. I'm also going to be dropping this original image for you guys so that you can use it to model your design. But remember, as I always say in my tutorials, I always say that try to do something different from what I'm doing right now. All right, it helps you become a professional very quickly. It helps you become professional. All right, so don't just always you know, replicate my designs. All right, try to create something different, so that when a client comes to you and asks for samples of your work and all that, you can actually give them something that you have designed. Okay, so that's one advantage of you creating something different from what I'm teaching right now. Okay, so the next thing, I'm just going to place this here, bridal shower. I've gotten this. All right, so I have this now. I'm just going to make this invisible. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to create this white shape here. I'm just going to go to my shape, click on shapes. I'm going to make this radius. Now immediately click shape, you're going to see radius. Let me make it 15 first. I'm going to reduce it this way. I'm going to place it here this way. Reduce the size. Let me reduce the radius a bit to maybe 11. Let's increase it this way. Now let me take it behind this. All right, now it's behind. I'm going to reduce the opacity of the shape. Okay, I'm going to reduce the opacity this way. Yeah, let's see our original. Let's see if we're on track. Okay, I'm still going to reduce the opacity a bit again. I'm going to reduce it. So just leave your opacity at let me see. Yeah, just leave your opacity at either 10 or 15. Okay, let's leave it at 12. Let's leave the opacity at 12. All right, so this is our opacity 12. So I'm just going to move this down. I'm going to move this text down. All right, let's just move it down, and let's move the shape down also. Yeah, so let me see. Yes, it's kind of aligned. So I'm going to be increasing this shape because I didn't create while drawing the shape. I didn't leave space for the dots. All right, these dots here, these yellow dots. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing now. I'm going to move this down a bit. I'm going to move this down a bit like this. Yeah, so the next thing I want to do is I want to create these dots, these yellow dots on the design. All right, and how did I achieve that? I achieved that by just copy this again, copy this text, click on the text tool and delete this and just put a full stop. Okay, just one full stop and click OK. Now go to your text. You don't need to change the font of the full stop. Just go to your text and increase the size of the full stop this way. Just increase it, let it not be too big. All right, let's use 85. I'm just going to mark this and I'm going to move the dot this way. All right, I just want it to be at the center of each text, so I'm going to move it this way, just like a bullet, yeah, something like that. So I'm going to create another one again. I'm going to make a duplicate. I'm going to move this downwards again. So that's how you just keep on making the duplicates. And you can decide not to use dots. You can decide to use that check icon. All right, you can just go online and just search out for, either you search mark icon or you search check icon. Now please ensure that your dot is not too close to your words. All right, ensure that your dots, they are not too close to your words. Let there be space. Okay, so I'm going to copy this again and I'm just going to bring this here. We have a few more to go. I'm just going to bring it here this way. I'm just going to move it this way like this. Yeah, so I'm going to click one more and I'm going to bring it here. Yeah, just going to bring it here this way. Yeah, I'm just going to move this way. Okay, yes, so we have gotten the dots. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to change the color. Now the same color I used for wedding shoot is the same color I'm going to be using for the gradient. All right, so I'm going to click on color, click gradient and choose the same gradient we used. I'm going to do the same for these other points. I'm going to do the same for this. So the same gradient color we used for wedding shoot is the same color we are using for this. All right, now I always say it, guys, for beginners, all right, do not use more than 2 or 3 colors in your design. Okay, now when the amount of color you use in your design start going to 4, 5, 6, your design starts looking very awful. All right, so ensure you always use at most 3 colors. Now if you look at my design, you're going to see that you have the purple color here and you have the yellow color and you have the white color. Those are the three major designs on my, those are the three major colors rather on my design. All right, now you can see that aside these three colors, I didn't use any other color. So ensure that you keep your color cool and calm, and ensure that you don't use too much colors on your design. It will disfigure your design, so it will, it will make it look very awful. All right, there are people that use more than two colors, three colors, four colors in their designs, but that's in the professional level, when you now know how to use colors effectively. All right, so but to be on the safe side, just ensure your colors are not more than three and they are good colors. All right, they are nice colors. Your combination is awesome. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, I'm going to just let's look at our original to see what we want to add in. Okay, the next thing is and lot small. So I'm going to copy this bridal shoot. I'm going to change the font to and lot small. Yeah, and lot small. So I'm just going to put this way. Yeah, so I'm just going to bring it here like this, and I'm going to space it. Click on spacing, just increase your spacing a little. Yeah, 21 is okay. You can decide to increase the little more, but don't let it be too much. Okay, don't let it be too much like this. You can decide to leave it at 21, 24. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to just click on my relative position, make this to be at the middle. Yeah, I'm just going to move this up a little. Yes, okay, it's too close to the shape. I'm just going to bring it down a little. Okay, so now we have this. Now the last thing we want to do, want to be adding the venue. I want to add the contact details. Now guys, if you have been following this tutorial so far, you're going to see that what I've been doing, they are not things that are complex. They're very easy. All right, once you have your Pixellab and you can follow the tutorial, you're going to see that it's very easy for you to design this. All right, and you still keep it a professional way. Okay, so I'm just going to be putting in the contact address right now. I'm going to copy this text and I'm just going to put in the contact address. Okay, so we have the Deck Studio. This is the address. Now notice that the spacing I inserted is still there, so I'm going to reduce the space. I'm going to remove the spacing, just make it to be 0. Yeah, so I'm just going to make it to be 0 and I'm going to reduce the size this way. Now your address should not be too big such that it will cover the whole space. No, so your address should be kind of like this. All right, just distinct here. So I'm just going to place my address here and I'm going to centralize this first. I'm going to bring it down a little. All right, I want it to be in between the frame and the white space beneath. So I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to move it this way because I want to bring in the location icon. All right, the location icon. So I'm going to move it like this, and then I'm going to go to my gallery and bring in the location icon. All right, so this is the location icon. You can get this location icon on Pinterest, on Freepik, wherever you want to get it from. So I'm just going to reduce it this way. All right, I'm just going to reduce it this way and just mark this. All right, now I'm going to change my location icon to white color because I want the color to be consistent. Okay, I'm just going to change it to white color. I'm going to reduce the size. Now your location icon should not be too big. I see most of our designs and I see that we keep our location icon to be very big. Now your location icon is not meant to be big. Your contact info, all those icons, they are not meant to be big. All right, just make it small and simple. Okay, all right, the next thing we want to do is we're going to be putting in the contact address, which is the informations. So I'm just going to be writing so that we can be very fast. I'm just going to be writing okay, let's write the numbers. Okay, all right, so this is the contact info for bookings. Now the number, it is a fictional design, so I just want us to I just fixed in a fictional number. All right, so I'm going to go to my style, click on style. Now I want us to bold the for bookings alone. All right, so I'm going to click on style and click on this. I'm going to stream, I'm just going to highlight only this for bookings and I'm going to click on the bold icon and I'm going to mark this. All right, now the next thing, I'm going to copy this and just put in any email address. You can put any email address you want. Okay, So I'm just going to make use of this email address because it's a fictional design. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to my style. Remember, we copied this for bookings text, and that's what we're using to write the email now. So I'm going to click on my style. I'm going to click on this letter T that is striked out. I'm going to click on it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reset the effect of the bold. All right, then after clicking on this letter T, I'm going to highlight only the email. All right, and then I click bold, and then I mark it. All right, so now the way it is now, if you notice, the email and the for bookings, they are not really centralized. So I'm going to go to my relative position, and I'm going to click on relative position and just click centralize this way, and I'm going to click on my bookings and also click centralize this way. And by doing this, now you have your email centralized and you have your for booking centralized. Please ensure that the space in between the for bookings and the email, there's enough space, and also there's enough space between the for bookings and the up part of your design, which is where we have the dot on this white line. All right, always space your work. Don't let your work to be too choked. Okay, just make sure that you have enough space in your work. All right, so and once you are done with this, now we can check our original, and we're going to check what we just created. Now look at the original design and look at what we just created right now in Pixellab. Now you can see that it's very easy, and you don't need to do too much stress and have too complex stuffs on your design before you can create something professional. Okay guys, so when you are done, just click on save. You save as image. If you want it to save into your gallery, all right, you just click save as image, and always save your project when you are done with the design. All right, the fact that you save the project when you first started doesn't mean it will auto save. Pixellab is not designed in such a way that as you are designing, it will be auto saving your work. All right, it's not Microsoft Word that always auto save when you are typing. Okay, and it's not like Photoshop that you can set it to auto save. In Pixellab application, once you are done with your final design, still go back and save as project. Save as project when you are done with your final design. Okay, and once you are done saving as project, you can always come back and check out your design. Probably you want to do some corrections and all that. You can always revisit your design in Pixellab. And like I've said in my previous tutorial, ensure that you save your projects more than once, and after saving, go back to your project. After saving as project, go back to my project and always check if what you have saved is well saved, because Pixellab has this issue of trying to distort your work after saving as project. So I advise you to save the same project like 3 times, so that even if it wants to distort your work, before getting to the third part, it would have everything will be set and all good. Okay, so all right, thank you so much for staying till the end of this tutorial. I believe you've learned something new today and you would practice what you've learned. All right, thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe, do well to like this video and turn on the notification button, so that when next I drop a video, you will be notified by YouTube on it. Okay, thank you so much. See you in my next tutorial.